Level 1, your first clearing. Oh my goodness, you're gonna love, love, love this. It's gonna feel amazing. All right. Now, of course, we've already done your soul profile, so I'm not gonna go back over that information. However, I would recommend the Divine Soul Blueprint activation and the Manifestation Blueprint activation. Those are on special. I think it's $44.44. All right, so moving straight into the soul realignment. Now, this is the best part of this whole modality, is the actual clearing work. Now, in level 1, those are always past life blocks. Now, in this first reading clearing, we clear a lot of different blocks. Now, I don't go over every single block just because it would take way too long and it's way too boring. Now, if there's something big that I really feel that you, or actually not me, but your higher self needs you to know, trust me, it'll come out in the reading. So, which I don't see anything big, other than we did clear soul contracts that are no longer for your highest path and purpose. And the reason being is because the other soul is not incarnated at this time. So you're definitely going to experience a huge synchronicity pickup. Because now, see, subconsciously we go around trying to fulfill soul contracts, and then that helps us along our journey, right? With our life lessons and our life path. But if the other soul is not incarnated, then being as quickly. Now, I loved that part. Oh my goodness. Suddenly I started meeting all these souls that I had soul contracts with, and it just like moved me on my journey, and I was like, woo! So definitely, that's definitely a huge bonus. Now, also too, before I go any further, let me go, see, normally I do the soul profile and this, so I have like my information. All right, so level 1 is always past life. Past life always comes with a story. What happened in that lifetime that created those energetic blocks. Now, energetic blocks are created through free choice, because we can choose to negate ourselves away from our divine soul blueprint, our unique divine self-expression, through engaging in, and usually these energetic blocks are created in intense, especially past life, intense duress, trauma, some kind of something happened, right? And then sometimes, you know, it was just a long period of incongruent choices for ourselves. Now, when you get into level 2 blocks, those blocks are denser than level 1, and they're held at the 4th dimension, at the mental body. And then level 3 blocks are the densest blocks. They're held in the 3rd dimension at the level of the physical. I'm sorry, there's like gnats and bugs, and they're always like flying around. All right, so now in follow-up sessions, those sessions are based on time between sessions. So always email me. You will intuitively feel when you need more clearing work. Now, when we get into level 2 and level 3 blocks, those readings are a little boring because there's no story, right? However, you will feel that clearing work more intensely. Now, they generally start about $33.33 for like 4 to 6 weeks. So just email me and I'll, trust me, there's no pressure here. Most clients get them more often in the beginning just to kind of get that momentum going. But just follow your own intuition. You'll feel, because the more aware we become, the more conscious we become, those energetic blocks, we start to notice them. All right, let's see what else. Okay. Now, before I get into the story portion, I'm going to be going over the energies that were behind the densest blocks that were cleared in this session. Now, these blocks are than a lot of them, okay? So they're created through energy exchange or through free will and choice. Now, you had one at your fourth chakra, and it was running a negative program of anxiety. So you may have a lot of anxiety when dealing with primary relationships or family or children. You may worry a lot about them. It might make you anxious to know that they're safe. Because you also had one in the emotional body at the root chakra, which is all about safety, right? Staying safe, stable, security. And it was running the negative program of failure. So when you put those two together, it makes a very interesting dynamic. Now, of course, they've been cleared now. So you might experience a little bit of triggering from loved ones and family members, but don't worry. Just don't react, okay? Because you're going to shift vibrationally at the physical level. So subconsciously, they're going to notice that. And they might get a little snappy or, what are you doing? You know, kind of just a little triggering going on. Just smile. Be kind, be gracious, stay in your center. As long as you can do that, it literally goes away instantly. But if you react, and trust me, I had to learn that the hard way with my father, because I didn't know. I mean, and yeah, a lot of triggering going on from him, and then I would just, it was just this battle. But then I realized, if I didn't react, it was almost as if it didn't happen. I mean, he might get a little triggered and then it was over. So the more we can stay centered, the more we can just stay in that center, just enjoy our new experience, right? The faster that goes away. It's almost like a blip. So just definitely want to touch base on that, because there was this fourth chakra and first chakra. Now, also too, you've made all 6 vows to God. Now, vows actually negate us away from the divine source, God, whatever you want to call it. God, the divine, does not need a vow. He gives us complete free will and just wants us to go and experience ourselves. Now, what tends to happen with those vows is they run kind of like a background theme over our realities. And they're usually made, now all of these were made in a past life, you know, where you say, oh God, please do this for me, and I promise I'll spend my whole eternity suffering. So the 6 vows are suffering, silence, sacrifice, poverty, chastity, and obedience. And that truly was a magical place for me as well, especially as Mintakans, because we have a special connection with God. I mean, seriously, like we were like one of the first, well, we were the only utopian planet, right, where we were in complete alignment with our divine self-expression. And so we never felt separated from God, unlike this experience, right, the human experience, with all this polarity. So it's very all clients, all especially Mintakan clients, have those 6 vows. And you'll start to see, like, after you complete your homework, I think it takes 21 days, you'll start to see how those vows were kind of playing like a overall theme, right? Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over the energies that were behind the blocks. Now remember, they've all been cleared, so you won't, it's not that you're never going to experience these energies, but I find that the more reading and clearing work that I do for myself, the less I experience the negative polarity. Yeah. And you definitely may want to check out one of my videos, it just came to my mind, where I talk about how On this planet right now, the twin flames that are in union are setting 0 points for the polarity. I'm going to find that video and send you a link. Definitely check that out. Now, if you're interested in what type of blocks are cleared, go to my playlist called Popular Videos. I think it's the second video where I go over all the different types of blocks. All right, so these are the energies that were cleared. Drama, self-criticism, trauma, victimization, dependence, despair, disempowerment, and lack. Now, of course, you know, I write everything out. That's just how I do. Which is why my videos are not that long, but all right, so this actually occurred 303 lifetimes ago. Now that's lifetimes, not years. That was a long, long, long time ago. It actually occurred during Old Kingdom Egypt in that time frame. All right, so what happened? In this lifetime, you were born as a Hebrew slave. And it was during a revolution was starting to, there was an uprising, right? It was starting to take birth from slavery. In other words, the Hebrews wanted to be free. And it was a very, very dangerous time. Now, as a mission realmer, I'm sorry, no, sorry. As a Mintakan, I don't know why I said mission realmer. I wrote it down here too, and that's not correct. It's not correct. Let me change that. I must have been looking at something. All right. As a Mintakan, your life plan was to assist freedom for the Hebrew slaves, the Hebrew clan. However, because of extreme separation that we experienced during birth, you did not remember your purpose, right? And you were abhorred by the trauma, the victimization, the violence, remember, as Mintakans, we don't understand negative choices. We don't understand people going to war. We don't understand people killing each other and torturing each other. Okay. So, I mean, you were just like, oh my goodness, it's got to stop. I mean, it just made your insides cringe. You were abhorred by the trauma and victimization experienced by the slaves. You were incarnated as a woman, and you were very petite, very tiny. So it's not like you could go and fight the war or anything like that. However, you were also very beautiful. And you used those attributes to create harmony instead of liberation, which is perfectly okay. It was very disempowering as you were used by many in order to gain better conditions for the slaves and calm the rising revolution. So you basically used the weapons you had with the Egyptians, the lords, to get them to improve the conditions for the slaves, so everybody calm down. Now, but it was very, very disempowering. This created also a lot of drama because you were outcast by your family for your actions. And of course, the Egyptians would never accept you as one of them. You may have at times in this lifetime you may have at times in this time lifetime felt like fitting in was more like a burden, okay? And you may have struggled in this lifetime with your purpose at times, just because you want to get it right. Trust me, just coming into alignment with our divine self-expression, really that's the most important thing, right? The most important thing. And you're already doing that, so awesome. Okay, so you actually, okay, now back to the past life. You actually lived a long time in that lifetime, which was very unusual. But you spent a great deal of your time using your divine power to gain vital life force energy from source. So even in that lifetime, you did find your way trying to get back to your divine soul blueprint. So, which I find that most Mintakans are like that. Like I said, we come from a planet that it's utopian, and we know that divine exists. We don't ever doubt that. So it is kind of instinctual, I think, in us. And there's a lot of Mintakans on this planet right now, and they're all wanting to create that utopia again. Which, hey, I'm all about utopia. But you actually lived a long time in that lifetime because of just your internal instinct to connect to vital life force energy. Now, you also worked in the kitchen as a slave and spent a great deal of time gardening. So gardening could be very relaxing for you. It's also a great way to connect to source, to vital life force energy. So if you're not gardening already, which I kind of feel like you are, but if you're not, you may want to, even if you don't have time to garden, at least go visit gardens. Spend time in the garden, right? Just soaking in all that vital life force energy, because plants are, their vital life force energy is phenomenal. All right, now so working in the garden, this gave you some peace and escape from your circumstances. As you grew older, you became hyper-focused, though, on self-criticism. So if that's still playing out in reality, you need to start writing affirmations and posting them all around your environment, in your car, on the bathroom mirror, next to your bed, everywhere, because you need to, and that will help you release that self-criticism energy even more profoundly than this clearing work. Now, of course, it will dissipate. However, you still have free will and choice. And sometimes, especially if it is occurring, you may have more difficulty letting it go. So definitely write those affirmations out, positive affirmations. If you catch yourself criticizing yourself, stop, take a deep breath, and then carry on. Now, I am going to email you some homework. It's a PDF format, comes with instructions, so just follow the instructions. And awesome, I can't wait to hear back from you on this amazing new journey. Also, I have set up reviews on my Facebook page at Divine Empowerment, so please check those out. Blessings into infinity.